Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Beyond Access series. I'm Christina Foti, Chief of Special Education for New York City Public Schools. I'm always so excited to be part of these sessions. It is inspiring to see thousands of people taking time out of their evening to learn more about summer opportunities for students with IEPs. I know it seems like winter was just yesterday, but summer 2024 will be here before you know it. This summer will provide exciting opportunities for our students across the city, including those with IEPs, to learn, play, and grow. New York City Public Schools believes in rightful presence, where students bring their culture and whole selves into the school for all learners in our public schools. And that includes during our summer programming. Our vision for summer learning is that students with IEPs will make meaningful progress in their learning while experiencing enjoyable and enriching activities because learning should be fun. All students deserve access to high quality summer learning opportunities. And that's why we're committed to creating accessible and inclusive spaces where everyone can participate. I'm so excited for Super Summer 2024. Thank you again for being here, and thank you to my team for sharing this important information.
Good evening. My name is Andy Corso. My pronouns are she and her. I work for the New York City Public Schools Special Education Office, and I'm pleased to be able to share with you tonight Super Summer 2024, exploring summer opportunities for students with disabilities. We're so glad that you're here. Let's take a look at our agenda for tonight. We are eagerly awaiting summer 2024. There'll be exciting opportunities for all students to learn, play, and grow. We are going to continue to post updates when information and additional details are available, and it will be on the New York City Public Schools public page under Summer Rising, and you'll be able to click the link there, and more information will be added over time. Tonight, I'm going to share an overview. We're going to talk about the programs and pathways we offer for students with disabilities during the summer. We'll speak about enrollment, accommodation plans, transportation, and where to go for support. Let's talk a little bit about the format of tonight's session. Tonight, we're going to provide a lot of detailed information along with answers to frequently asked questions. I do want to note, though, tonight's format is a webinar, and we are not able to collect questions during the session. Please use the following contact information for specific questions. So let's take a look at each one of these. If you have a question about 12-month IEP programs, you're going to email esy@schools.nyc.gov. For questions about summer autism programs, you'll email autismprograms@schools.nyc.gov. And for questions about Summer Rising, you'll email summer@schools.nyc.gov. Again, tonight we have a lot of information to share. We will not be taking individual questions. Please do send individual questions to these email boxes to receive a prompt and accurate response for questions you have about your student. So what are the programs that we offer over the summer? Any student who has a 12-month special class recommendation will participate in what's called extended school year, or we call it ESY. This program is a full day of learning designed to help students reach their IEP goals. If a student has a 12-month SETS or related service recommendation, they will also get those services. And we'll talk much more about that when we get to the frequently asked questions portion of the session. Let's take a look at each program that we offer for students with 12-month IEP recommendations. Here's at a glance. And for this, I'll be inviting a few other presenters to add some information. But first, I'm going to share the dates for each program. So program 1, that's our autism programs. Our students who are in Nest and Horizon and attend autism programs over the summer. Their schedule for extended school year is 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. from Monday through Thursday, from July 2nd to August 8th. For students in District 75 with 12-month IEPs, their schedule is 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. Monday through Friday, July 3rd to August 13th. And finally, for our extended school year program for students with 12-month IEPs, their schedule is 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., Monday to Friday, July 2nd through August 12th. Before I have people say a few words about these programs, please know that these dates and times are also available on the internet under summer 2024. And this presentation will be available in the Beyond Access YouTube video. So you can always come back to this slide to get this information. I'd like to welcome Michelle Netzler to speak a bit about our autism programs for the summer.
Hi, good evening. Thank you, Andy. I'm excited to share a few key highlights for autism summer programming. Students in the elementary and middle school Nest and Horizon programs are invited to participate in a half-day summer program. The summer program focuses on social communication, developing social communication in a structured environment with trained teachers, building on the skills and lessons students worked on during the school year. This learning is through fun and engaging activities that work on this communication, turn taking, reciprocal conversation, awareness, understanding of emotion, executive functioning, and self-advocacy, to name just a few. During the autism summer programs, teachers and providers with specific autism training staff the summer program. Most often, they are from your child's school year program. Students receive their related services, specifically speech services, by a trained speech provider to continue to make social communication and pragmatic gains and to reduce regression over the summer. Related services are incorporated into the Nest or Horizon summer program. The location of the Nest and Summer programs are co-located with your Summer Rising program for your child's school year program. This means students who attend both the Autism Summer program and the Summer Rising program will have the opportunity to continue to build relationships with their peers from the school year program and, of course, meet new friends. And I just want to mention that this year we were able to align the dates to the Summer Rising program based on feedback from families. So thank you, Andy. I'll turn it back over to you now.
Thank you so much, Michelle. I love that. They'll be able to meet new friends as well. That's what summer is all about. For our District 75 programs, I'll speak a bit about that. And that will be an amazing opportunity for students in District 75 with 12-month IEP recommendations to continue to work to meet their IEP goals with trained teachers and staff who know their work well and are able to support these students as they continue to make progress toward their IEP goals. Marianne, could you speak a bit about extended school year?
Yes, hello. The extended school year program for students who attend schools in districts 1 to 32 and who have 12-month special class recommendations on their IEPs is a program that offers a full day academic program for our students and targets addressing IEP goals as well as ensuring that they continue sustain the progress that they had made over the school year. We try to make it a rich academic program as well as include aspects of summer. So we try to have some recess. We have recess every day, but we also try to have some enrichment activities during the summer, during the school day as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Ann. Thank you, Michelle. It's truly going to be super summer 2024. Thanks for describing the rich offerings that we have in these 3 different types of programs for students with disabilities. Let me share some more information about what will be happening. In each of these pathways, we do offer breakfast, lunch, and snacks for students. Sometimes people ask me, Andy, what if I know a student in a child in New York City Public Schools who does not attend a summer program? Can they still get food during the summer? The answer is yes at specific sites. So you'll be able to look online and see which sites offer food for all children in New York City. But for students enrolled in the ASD program, District 75 summer program, or extended school year program, breakfast, lunch, and snacks will be served at the location where they have their program. Let's talk a bit about Summer Rising. So Summer Rising, you may have heard quite a bit about. And for our students with IEPs, this is very often what happens after their morning academic program. So Summer Rising 2024 is a partnership between New York City Public Schools and the Department of Youth and Community Development, known as DYCD. And the vision of Summer Rising is to make sure that all students are making progress in their learning and they have enjoyable and enriching activities. All of us are hoping for a fun summer with lots of learning. Let's talk a bit more about Summer Rising. Students in Summer Rising will have access to both academic and enrichment programming over the course of the day, including field trips, art activities, and outdoor recreation. Summer Rising is led by community-based organizations in our schools. And down below, you'll see a picture and you'll see two student hands holding a rainbow with lots of art materials all around. So you may be thinking, well, what is my 12-month IEP program? What is Summer Rising? How do these things fit together? Let's take a minute and talk about there are 3 different options that families have if you have a student with a 12-month IEP over the summer. Let's look at each one. Pathway 1. You can choose to say, I am going to participate in my 12-month IEP program, and I would also like my child to attend Summer Rising. So I would like both. Let's look at what that means. In the morning or in the early afternoon, the student will attend the 12-month IEP programs that Mary Ann and Michelle and I described. After that programming ends, then the student will attend Summer Rising if they receive an offer. And we'll talk about what that means in just a second. In this pathway, the student has to attend Summer Rising at the same location as the 12-month IEP program. So this is pathway 1. It's the 12-month IEP program plus Summer Rising. And that happens at the same location. There's no transportation in between. That's one option. Let's take a look at another option, pathway 2. Families could also choose and say, actually, I only want the 12-month IEP program. That's all I want for my child this summer. If you only want the 12-month IEP program, then families just need to respond to the offer letter that was emailed or contact their school to enroll. For this pathway only, if you only want 12-month IEP services, you do not need to go to My Schools. You do not need to apply to Summer Rising. That's only true for pathway 2. Let's take a look at pathway 3. There's another option for families of students who have 12-month IEP recommendations. You could say, actually, I do not want my 12-month IEP recommendation, those services. I only want Summer Rising. That's pathway 3. This pathway does not include IEP related services. In this option, option 3, your student can apply to the Summer Rising program of their choice, and they will receive a notification if they receive an offer. Let's zoom out for a second. If your child has a 12-month IEP, there are 3 different pathways. Pathway 1, the 12-month IEP program plus Summer Rising, and that would be at the same location. Pathway 2, only the 12-month IEP program. In this case, you do not need to apply to Summer Rising. Just respond to your survey or contact the school. In pathway 3, Summer Rising only. In this case, you can apply to any summer rising program and see if you get an offer, but you will not receive 12-month IEP services. And again, if you have questions about any of these, I'll be sharing our contact information as we continue through the presentation. So if you are interested in a pathway that includes summer rising, let me tell you a bit about where we're at in that application process. The application process for summer rising is closed. That ended on March 25th. If you applied for summer rising by March 25th, you will receive the results of your application by mid-April. So that should be coming soon. Let me just say those three things one more time. The summer rising application is closed. If you applied by March 25th, you will receive the results by mid-April about whether you got an offer and where, if you got an offer, your offer is. But what if you didn't apply by March 25th? Let's take a look at what happens there. We do have a summer rising wait list. So let's take a look together right where it has that orange megaphone. Let's look at that together. If you miss the deadline to apply, you can still express interest in summer rising through a wait list. Programs will use waitlists to fill any open seats after offers are made. And waitlists will be open the same day that results are announced. So it'll be also mid-April when the waitlists are open. If you want to know about how to use a waitlist, how to apply for a waitlist, there are 2 upcoming webinars to support you this week on April 16th, tomorrow, or April 18th. And you'll see the Zoom links right there to attend those information sessions about applying to summer rising through a waitlist. What if you already applied though? Let's take a look at that. If you submitted your summer rising application by March 25th, your child will be automatically put on the wait list for each program that's listed higher on their application than the program to which they received an offer. So if you applied by the deadline, you'll automatically be put on the wait list if you did not receive an offer. There's a lot more information about waitlists, and you can find all that information here at schools.nyc.gov/waitlists. So to zoom out for a second, if you did not apply by March 25th or summer rising and you are interested in summer rising, you can still apply on a wait list. And the information for that is here. And you can attend an information session about that tomorrow at 6:30 or April 18th at 6:30. Let's continue forward. Many times families ask, I do want my child to attend Summer Rising, but I'm worried that the staff at Summer Rising will not be able to support their needs. We actually have something in place to support those staff members to make sure that they can support your child. It's called an accommodation plan. Let me describe what that is. Wherever your child goes to school right now, those teachers and staff will prepare a Summer Rising accommodation plan. That plan will be shared with the parent and with the student Summer Rising site. It's a way to communicate these are the supports this child will need to access Summer Rising. Let's look at 3 specific parts of the accommodation plan. First, every student with an IEP, IESP, or a 504 plan will receive an accommodation plan. Students who receive a health paraprofessional or a nurse, and that's on their IEP or 504 plan, will receive those services throughout the Summer Rising day. What about if your student has a behavior paraprofessional? In that case, that paraprofessional will be there during the academic portion of the day and will receive additional support as needed during enrichment activities during Summer Rising. Again, the accommodation plan is completed by your child's current school and shares information with the staff during our extended school year programs, our autism programs, and Summer Rising about how to support your student during the summer. We want to make sure that information comes from your student's current school to the school where they will attend summer programming. Many times families ask about accessibility. Please know that all extended school year sites, including sites for autism programs and District 75, are accessible. If you're interested in a site that is not hosting an extended school year program, you can always reach out to accessible admissions at schools.nyc.gov and accessibility at schools.nyc.gov. Those two inboxes will be able to tell you about any school. Again, please know if your student is attending an extended school year program or autism programs or District 75 programs, all of those sites are accessible. And you'll see an icon of someone in a wheelchair in the upper right-hand corner and an icon of a sun down at the bottom. Let's talk about transportation. There's a key date that I want to make sure that everyone knows. It's critical that students with IEPs are enrolled in summer programs by May 13th to ensure that transportation starts the very first day of the summer program. So if you have a student, make sure that they have said yes to their ESY site, make sure that they have said yes to their summer program so that they are enrolled by May 13th to ensure that transportation starts the first day. And just to be clear, autism programs, the first day is July 2nd, ESY, the first day is July 2nd, and District 75, the first day is July 3rd. Let's talk about timing for transportation. Eligible students will be bused according to their program schedule, start and end time. Busing, though, does not happen after 3 p.m. And I'm going to talk about what happens. What if my child is staying after 3 p.m.? I'll talk about that next. We do have Metro cards available for eligible students. And if your child stays till 6 p.m., there are a few options. If your child gets curb to school busing on their IEP, rideshare will be available. Also, rideshare will be available at 6 p.m. for any students in temporary housing receiving curb to school or stop to stop school busing. I know that was a lot of information. Let me tell you, I'm going to share some more, but please know that full transportation details and eligibility are posted at nyc.gov/summarizing. I know there are many questions about transportation. In addition to what I shared, full information about transportation and eligibility will be posted at nyc.gov/summarizing. Let me share a few more details about transportation. For elementary students who are attending Summer Rising, which goes till 6 p.m., and who are eligible for transportation, can use a prepaid rideshare for pickup and return. As I mentioned before, school buses are not available at 6 p.m. School buses, the latest that they leave is 3 p.m. Students participating in the summer autism program may be eligible for busing at 12 p.m., which is when the academic part of that day ends, or 3 p.m., which is when the last bus for transportation leaves, or they could use a 6 p.m. ride share if they're eligible for that I've been describing. That's for elementary students. Let's pause for a second and take a careful look at this one, because the eligibility for transportation may be different over the summer than it is during the school year. Let's take a look at that. And you'll see an icon of a school bus here at the bottom. Students in grades K to 6 who are not grade and distance eligible for transportation during the school year might be eligible during the summer if their school site is not open for the summer, and the distance between their 10-month school site and their summer rising site are more than half a mile apart. Again, this is a lot of technical information. The thing I want you to remember is even if a student is not eligible for transportation during the school year, if they're attending their summer program at a different location, they might be eligible for transportation. So again, you'll want to look at the website that I mentioned, nyc.gov/summarizing. Let's talk about MetroCard eligibility. Students who have a school year MetroCard, or if you're eligible for MetroCard due to the summer rising site's distance, will get a MetroCard for program travel, and that's 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. As I keep noting, there's no 6 p.m. busing this summer, but eligible students, those in temporary housing, foster care, or with curb to school busing who are enrolled to 6 p.m. can request a MetroCard or use a prepaid rideshare. And you'll see here the icon for a MetroCard, and you will see transportation here in a red circle, a yellow circle, and a green circle. Underneath it says rideshare. So far, we've been talking mostly about elementary and middle school students. I do want to speak to high school students for a minute. During the summer, high school students have the opportunity to retake courses for credit, engage in local or citywide enrichment programs, and career preparation, including the Summer Youth Employment Program, SYEP. And those credit-based programs might be in-person or remote based on the academic policy and community needs. I need to make an important note here, though. While we do offer 12-month IEP programs for high school students, the work in those programs is not credit-bearing. So if there is a student, a high school student, who needs to retake courses for credit, the 12-month IEP work at the high school level is not credit-bearing. They should not take the 12-month IEP programming. Instead, they should retake the course for credit if that's the work they need to do. I'm going to say that one more time. 12-month IEP programs are offered for high school students, but they are not credit-bearing. If a high school student with a 12-month IEP does want to take courses for credit over the summer, they should not be taking their 12-month IEP programming. I've shared a lot of information so far. Let me share again, where are places you can go to ask specific questions about your students or more questions about what I've shared tonight. After I go over this slide, I'm actually going to call on team members to answer some frequently asked questions that we often hear from families. So, first resource. If you have a question about 12-month IEP programs, please email esy@schools.nyc.gov. If you have questions about summer autism programs, please email autismprograms@schools.nyc.gov. For questions about summer rising, please email summer@schools.nyc.gov. Let's talk a bit about transportation. If your child is receiving specialized transportation, you may call the Office of Pupil Transportation hotline at 718-392-8855, or you can go to the OPT website, and that's linked here, to access your child's July to August route information. And that information will be available starting June 24th. Starting June 24th. So please note, we've shared a lot of information tonight. I recognize many people have individual questions about your child. These are all of the places where you can email and contact to find out those specific answers. In a moment, I'm going to actually turn it over to 3 team members to answer the most common questions that we get from families to see if these questions will be able to help you with your question as well. I'm going to start again with Michelle Netzler from our autism programs. What are some frequently asked questions, Michelle, that you get from families?
Thanks, Sandy. I think the two biggest ones, one you covered, and it's about transportation, whether my child can attend the autism summer program only and receive transportation. The answer is yes. At the end of that day at 12 o'clock, you can receive busing. If you stay and you're participating in Summer Rising, you can receive transportation at 3 p.m. like Andy said. That's probably the number one question. The second question is, can I attend another autism program other than the one affiliated with my school year NEST or Horizon program? So the answer to that question is students are assigned to their school year program site so they can continue to attend with familiar staff, build on skills they have been working on during the school year, and maintain peer relationships. Continue to have fun with their friends from school year over the summer. Thanks, Andy.
Thank you so much, Michelle. I'm now going to turn to Monica George to answer some frequently asked questions about related services.
Thank you, Andy. We do have quite a few frequently asked questions about related service. First of all, who is eligible for related services over the summer? Students with 12-month related services who attend our Chapter 683, which is our District 75 program, our ASD NEST students, our pre-K, and our students with extended school year. They are eligible for services over the summer. Students with 12-month related service only mandates or students that require makeups for those related services during the school year, if they didn't receive them during the school year, they are also eligible to receive those related services over the summer. Another frequently asked question is, how will I get notified about summer-related services? So our students with 12-month mandated related services and they attend one of the programs like the District 75 program or Chapter 683, our ASD NEST programs, our pre-K programs, they'll automatically receive those mandated services provided at their summer sites. They won't get a separate notification. Now, for our families of students with 12-month related service only recommendations, or those students that need those makeups for their related services, they will receive a letter from their school on or after June 3rd. This letter explains what the 12-month related service only services are, and it gives very specific directions on how to complete the summer surveys to enroll your child. Now, if your child is enrolled or they're going to be part of more than one of these summer programs, you may receive more than one letter or survey or communication. So please, if you do get more than one, read each communication carefully to better understand and be able to respond accordingly to the program offering. We have actually two other questions. Andy went over this a little bit already. Will I receive transportation for related service only recommendations? So related service only, and then our related service makeups are really by appointment only. So we would not be offering transportation to those. Providers will be conducting the outreach to schedule for those families for those services. So we do not offer transportation, but two-way Metro cards can be provided upon request to those families that are eligible. And lastly, one of the bigger questions are, if my child is enrolled in Summer Rising, will they be able to receive their services at their Summer Rising site? So our families, some of our sites are co-located where we will have our related services in one site as well as a Summer Rising. So when you receive the survey, you will see a list of sites that already have the Summer Rising. So if you're looking to receive those related services, please select the related service site where your Summer Rising is already being offered or enrolled. Now, if they're enrolled at a site that is not co-located with related services, the Office of Related Service, we will try our best to coordinate services around those children's Summer Rising program schedules. And we've done this in the past. This is nothing new for us. We will work to the best of our ability to get a therapist to the Summer Rising site. And I think that's all the really frequently asked questions, Andy.
Thank you, Monica.
You're
You all do
welcome.
heroic work all year long. And thank you so much for ensuring that families get the related services that their students are mandated to receive. I appreciate you. And our last person who will be answering some frequently asked questions is Mary Ann Dakar.
Thank you, Andy. So we do have a number of frequently asked questions. And so one is, why can't I attend ESY at my home school? We offer ESY at 28 sites across the city, and we do our best to match students to the closest site to their home. But the reason we can't offer it everywhere is that the ESY program is actually relatively small. We serve about 3,000 students citywide, and we cannot provide all of the services that they need if they were scattered in hundreds of schools across the city. So we bring them all of the resources together, and that is why you get a specific placement in the site. And we have been opening more sites. So this year we actually opened 5 more sites around the city to try to bring people a little closer to home. Can I change my child's ESY site? You can request a site change by reaching out to esy@schools.nyc.gov, and we will work with you to see if a different site would be better for your child. So if we can find a better place that works for your family, we will absolutely do that. We already talked about transportation being available, and that's a common question. And we also hear, what do students do in the ESY program? And so just to expand a little bit, the ESY program is a full day of academics. It's a full day academic program. The students do get breakfast and lunch, and they also get at least 90 minutes of ELA and 90 minutes of math. There is also social studies and science content, as well as enrichment, and students do get recess every day. Additionally, if they have speech, OT, PT, counseling, or sets on their IEP as well, those services are also provided at the program. And our goal is to make the program as much fun and as educational as possible for our ESY students. My child, sometimes we hear about concerns that parents have because their children may have very specialized and relatively unique needs, and they want to make sure that the staff is prepared for their children. So we do work with the information on IEPs. So if your child receives services like a nurse or a para, we'll pick that information up. But if there are more specific things, please just reach out to us at esy@schools.nyc.gov and let us know of the special concerns. And we will also, by June, send all of our families the site supervisor, the information on the person who'll be leading their ESY site. And when you get that information, you should also reach out to the site supervisor. So if there are there are things like allergies or very specific needs or sensory needs that students have, that site supervisor can be alerted to have that ready for your child. Can my child's para support them in ESY? And we try as hard as possible to match children with the paras they had during the school year. And so if the para is willing to work and the student is attending ESY, we try to make that match. But please we ask parents to understand that paras do not have to work during the summer, and they have a lot of options if they do want to work of where that will be, where they'll do that. So we do our best, we just cannot guarantee it. But if your child has a para, if we cannot get their regular school year para, they will be assigned a para for the summer, and it will be one para. They won't have a different para every day. And then the last question I have is, if your child has sets only, just like Monica talked about the related services, if that you don't have a full day program, you just have a sets recommendation, how will you get those services? We do that very similar to the way related services operates. We offer the service at all of our ESY sites as a scheduled service. So you will get a survey from us asking you if you want to come in for your set services, and you'll be able to select the site that is most convenient for you. And then a sets provider who will be working at our ESY sites will reach out to schedule a time for your child. If your child is attending Summer Rising and has sets as a 12-month recommendation, we try to provide the set service at the Summer Rising site by asking the site itself, the Summer Rising program, to offer the service. So if they have a special education teacher who is available to provide the service, we get the service to your child in your Summer Rising site. So again, we do our best to get that service to you there. And I think those are the bulk of the questions that we get. So I'm going to give it back to you, Andy.
Thank you so much, Mary Ann. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Michelle. We've just taken you on a tour of our most frequently asked questions. And if that did not answer your specific question, you'll still see on the screen, these are the places that you reach out to. We monitor these email boxes actively. We absolutely want you to get the information you need to ensure that your child has a super summer 2024 of learning, of enjoyment, of time with friends, an opportunity to learn, play, and grow. So we've answered our frequently asked questions, and I just wanted to share appreciation to everyone who's on the call. We have over 1,000